And Benjamin is probably a really great place to start. He has a lot of content on men being abused,
Mhm.
men being put in really tough situations. And so, like, one question that I want to start with, Benjamin, is how did this start for you? Why, what was your initiative in starting your channel and sharing the content? How did this all start for you?
Yeah, so great question. So, I mean, like, not to get too deep into personal things because I have like an open case still
Same.
regarding custody. Like I said, it just never ends, right? It's like a ongoing thing. But the main thing that kind of sparked Menbuse was I actually went through the exact same situation that you went through, and what, like a lot of fathers kind of went through. Where before, like around 3 years ago, and when I kind of went through my battle for custody, it's like there was no platforms or nonprofit or company that was for men, right? So when I was calling around, 'cause I'm from South Florida, so when I was calling around trying to like get support, get help, and I couldn't really afford an attorney, there was no help at all. Like even the folks that I called the hotline said, "Listen, I'm gonna be honest, there's nothing for men. Like everything's for women, right? Whether it's like regarding abuse, whether it's like regarding like free legal fee or legal aid or attorneys, whatever it was, nonprofit, it's all for moms, women, and kids and children, right?
Mhm.
So there's nothing for men at all. I'm like, damn, bro, that's crazy. So long story short, I spent the money. I spent like around $50,000, in court fees, attorney fees, whatever, waste of money to me because I could have that cash going towards the kids' college, school, education, food, clothes, et cetera, et cetera. But
Definitely.
as a man, as a father, at the end of the day, here's how I see it. I see it as in like that money that I spent, I can make that money back easily, right? Eventually. But the time that I was losing with my kid, I can't make that time back. So to me, the time is much more valuable than the actual money itself. So that's why I spend it. But I know some men don't have it or can't spend it or just would not spend it because they feel like it's gonna waste a month, waste of time, waste of money. So long story short, I'm like, man, let me see who else that's either going through what I went through, or let me see if I could help out folks that's going through what I actually went through. So overall, my goal was to make something that I wish I had when I was going through what I was going through, right? So throughout my entire 3 years of doing this, like being in a battle, like I learned so much. Right? I learned a lot from my attorneys. I learned a lot from like doing it myself at one point. Because as you know, in this battle, there's some times where you will have money for attorney, but sometimes you won't have any money at all. Where you have to do it yourself, right? So I kind of like just kind of learned a lot. I kind of went online a lot to actually watch, lawyers do it themselves because what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong. And what I learned is that just because someone is a lawyer and have a law degree doesn't mean they're actually a good lawyer. Some lawyers are just trash, right? They're just bad. So you spend all that money trying to fight for your kid, and then you still don't get the kid, right? So it's
Yeah.
like that's a waste of money right there. I'm not gonna lie to you. So I saw that and said, I'm like, man, one thing I learned is that me going through it, honestly, like I am more passionate than a lawyer would be. No one would ever fight harder for your kid more than you. A lawyer is just getting paid, like just getting paid. There's no like heart in it. If you win,
Mhm.
great. If you lose, whatever. They go on with to their kids' lives and you're stuck. So when I see that, okay, that was the case, I'm like, you know what? Let me build something called man abuse, like men get abused too because even though we kind of like deeply involved custody battles, but a lot of men do get like physically attacked by women, right? So a lot of men do get abused, and I call them men abuse because the thing is when we hear the word abuse, we think of women and children. We don't think of men being abused. You know what I mean? So the abuse is a word that if you somebody say they got abused, okay, a woman getting abused or a kid getting abused, you never hear abuse state to man being abused. So that's what man abuse came together. So I kind of did that. So I started posting more things online. We became like an actual like real nonprofit company. We are 501c3 company in Florida. So yeah, I started getting like more and more folks got involved. Reaching out. I started like doing coaching sessions. Like I said, I learned so much from fathers, but to the point now, I actually help dads get full custody, 50-50 custody. We have like our own like support system in our Telegram group app where everyone come on board and kind of like provide peer-to-peer support. Like I said, we know in Florida, even all over the world, like I said, I became like the main go-to guy and company involving, hey, I need help with my kid. Like, how do I get custody? Or how do I get 50-50? How do I get this false DV off me, right? So there's always ways around it. Or how do I get, either pay less in child support. So I kind of became like this thing, even though like I said, I'm no lawyer. I tell all my clients, all my, fathers, I don't give legal advice. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just a dad actually went through what you went through or going through. So I learned a
Yep.
lot where here's the do's and here's the don't. And I had some dads that spent money on lawyers and got nothing in return when they came to me for free. 'Cause I don't charge nothing at all. And they actually got their kids. So I'm like, you
Mhm.
know what? I feel like God put this in my heart to sometimes God will make you go through something to become the main person to lead them out that hell, out the struggle. Like, cause looking back now, I'm like, damn, like, why was I going through that? But now I'm like, man, a lot of times some dads don't want to fight, or not that they just can't fight. Like, that's not their calling. This became my calling. Like, let me just keep on doing it. And then from there on, we started growing on social media, started going viral on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook is blowing up, YouTube. It just everywhere is blowing. I'm like, man, okay, that means it's a good sign. I'm doing something right. So that's where I'm at right now. I know it's like a long
No,
reason,
thank
but
you.
yeah.
Um, I, I, I like that there's a lot that you brought up. Me and Michael, we're from Georgia. We also can't really talk too much about ourselves due to the same situation. We're going to share our stories, but we are going to do that very wisely with wisdom.
Mhm.
We both believe in the Lord. We're both human. We've made mistakes. We've done a lot of things that are amazing. Um, and I have a couple questions, but also want to let Michael ask as much as he can too. Michael, do you have any questions?
Well, first off, thank you for speaking with us. Um, I'm actually from Tampa, Florida. Raised, born, not really raised, but bounced back in between Florida and Georgia. Um, ha in going through your personal process or hearing stories from other men around the world now, apparently, how often have they ran into the type of legal advice I came across? It was a lawyer marketed towards men for the same situation. Supposedly, that was why they had got into law, but just kind of completely got blindsided. Every conversation was, fill up your retainer before we could talk to you, and there was no real help. Do you kind of run into that a lot?
Yeah, so you're saying with fathers like saying, hey, they had a lawyer or about to get a lawyer, but they came across, hey, I have to pay a lawyer, so can you help me out without paying, like return? Like, what's the?
No, excuse me, I'm sorry. Like coming across legal counsel that were
Oh,
supposedly understanding of the situation of men in this custody fight, but it's just a money gimmick.
yeah,
There's almost like the attorneys were branding themselves as being supportive of men,
Yeah,
but they were
yeah.
taking advantage of Michael.
yeah, like yeah, so 100%. Like one thing I learned is that these lawyers, all mainly almost all the lawyers, they know that fathers have to fight for their kids, right? The mothers don't have to fight. So a lot of dads get overly abused financially by lawyers because they, like you said, they know that hey, you want your kid, right? And you spend whatever it takes. Like I said, I spent like around 50 bands, $1,000 for my kid, but that was way too much. Looking back now, right? I could have saved a lot much money. But at the time, I'm like, hey, my goal is just to be a father. I don't care if I got to spend money, whatever. So lawyers know that. So they would say, hey, we offer the dads, but then like I said, when they kind of get you in their office, oh, well, you have to pay first to get my advice, right? You have to pay first to get my service, which, I get that, but it's like, don't say you are for fathers when you're really not, right? Just say, hey, I'm a business. This is my business. I got to get paid. Cool. All right, here's my service. Here's how much I charge. But don't bring a father hopes up. And that's a lot of dads too. Like at the end of the day, these lawyers, they're really not for you. They just for both genders, both parties, right? Just like how if the mother would hire that lawyer, he would have went with her and be against you, right? So they market towards men because men need lawyers the most. A lot of time, women would have free lawyers in the beginning, right? So a mom can say in the very beginning of the case, well, there's DV involved. Yeah, he abused me. He a child abuser. Once a mom go and start having that narrative of like being abused, they can get free legal aids, right? So free lawyers. So a lot of time as a lawyer, lawyers make most of their money from men because men need the lawyer the most, whether it's to divorce or custody battle. They know for a fact that a lot of time, matter of fact, not just lawyers, the entire court system make the most money for
Yes.
men. You know what I'm trying to say? So whether it's child support, divorce, child custody battle, they know because when it comes to child support, the mother get once again state attorney. So when it comes to divorce, a lot of time the father end up paying his lawyer and the mother's lawyer fee. So man, we are their main target audience, but in a very bad way. So whenever a lawyer comes in and say, "Hey, we're here for you as a father," a man, it's all smoke and mirrors, bro. Do not believe them, bro.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Family court is a $50 billion industry.
Mhm.
Jesus.
Okay. And this was started in the Northeast. Um, there's a lot of very unsettling history about family court, the genesis of family court. And this has affected black men the most.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then if you look at how different demographics are affected by this and the narratives around this, it's quite frankly, it's evil. Do you see uh any potential reformation of family court or the abolition of family court? Is that something that you see is a potential, or is that kind of just optimistic?
As in, like, do I see it getting better or
And yeah, and I guess what I'm asking is how would you, if you got to reform family court, what would you, based on your knowledge and what you've seen, what would be the right route? And how do we give out information to the general public in a way that they understand the damages of family court?
Mm.
great question, man. Okay, so number one, when it comes to family court, it had to be family court. In the court, there's no family component in it, really, right? I said to say, how come in some states, a lot of states, it's still not 50-50 custody? I mean, you would think it's common sense, right? If you go to court by default, it should be 50-50 custody. Florida just became 50-50 custody like back in 2023, like July 1st, 2023. So they just made the law where now fathers walk into court with 50-50, right? But now the mother have to show why he shouldn't get 50-50. Before it was like she had 100% and he had to go in and say, hey, here's why I need 50-50. Saying
Yeah.
some states still not 50-50 yet. But why is that not, like let's break that down. To me, it's like the most common sense in the world. Both the mother and the father come together to have the child together. One can't have the child without the other party involved. So why is it not 50-50? So how can you call yourself family court and there's no family involved? It's a one person show, right? So that's number one. Number two, with child support, and that's like another role that plays a role where a lot of fathers are not in the home because the mothers that are not all moms, by the way. There are great moms out there.
Yes,
But the
yes,
one, right? But the ones that are bitter, they utilize child support as a weapon. They weaponize child support, right? They hold kids as hostage and trying to receive ransom. Hey, if you pay me X amount of money, you won't see your kid. So in other words, the court and child support, they pay the mothers to make the child become fatherless, right? Because even go deeper to government assistance, if you want to get food stamp, well, okay, well, where's the father? Right. Well, you put them on child support, then we'll give you more money for food stamp. So as a mother, as a woman, it's like, yeah, that's how it is, right? So it's like, well, yeah, I want food stamp. So let me just put Joe Schmo on child support just because I want to get food stamp. Right. So all that plays a factor where it became more of a business, even with child support. My thing is, if we both have 50-50 custody, there shouldn't be any child support at all. Like I think if because at the end of the
Fair
day,
burden.
if right, yeah, because if we 50-50, we both gonna take care of the child. Why am I paying you when the child's in your household and when the child's in my household? I gotta pay for mine and your house? Like, how does that make
Hmm.
sense? Right? And then okay, we all know it's hard enough to survive, in nowadays financially. So I gotta pay for two households when I got equally time with the child. So that to me, and it goes for both men and women. No one should pay child support at all if it's 50-50. So to me, I think, and also, like I said, the thing is, they should kind of remove child support where make it, hey, if it's 50-50, no child support. Now, if someone is not involved and have more custody, then okay, cool, I get that. Maybe you could do it. But
mhm,
I personally say I think child support does more damage than good to the child.
yes,
That's my personal opinion. But even if you look back with child support, they call it child support just because it sounds good, but really it's really to make money back from government assistance. So when they give out these Section 8 food stamp, etc., it's not really free money or free food. Like you paying for it, like the taxpayers paying for it. Fathers that get on child support, they paying for it. So it's not really free. It's still ways of actually making their money back that they was losing when they first
Mm.
introduced like government assistance. So 50-50 child support. And also I think too, as fathers, as men, we have to fight. We don't fight hard enough to get those stuff removed. Right. And
Mm.
then I say that to say because if more moms or women will be put on child support or receive, more or have to pay money in divorce or lose custody like fathers do, the law will change it in a heartbeat.
Yes.
What that give props to women for is that they will change the law, because the world, just to be honest, they get very babied a lot. So they will march and go to that court and demand a change. If child support became more where they gotta pay, by tomorrow, it'll be removed. I promise you, it'll be removed 100%. But with men, we don't fight hard enough. Yeah, it's cool, to be in our little, you know, groups or going back and forth. Yeah, man, it's not fair. Yeah, it's cool. But at the end of the day, like we gotta let the government know. We have to let the court know. We have to actually go there and actually march or make a stand or say, you know what?
Take
Until y'all
action.
change the law, like we are not going to work. If all men said, hey, until y'all change the divorce law, family law, court law, whatever law, we not doing nothing regarding work because they need men to work, to be honest, right? To keep the planet going really like stable. We are the ones slaving away to keep this America running. If we say, you know what, for the whole month, the whole year, we're not working at all, they'll change the law. They have to, because at the end of the day, like if we don't do it, it's not gonna move. So to me, we gotta like take accountability where we gotta really fight harder because we don't fight as hard. A lot of men, the thing about men too is that it's very tedious, to keep fighting every time. We have to go to work, we have to do a lot of things. So it's like we don't want to do, but I think if we want to make a big change, we have to say, you know what, man, enough is enough. Let's all come together. Like both, whether you have a kid or don't have a kid, let's come together and say, hey, we can't keep paying y'all child support if it doesn't make sense. We can't keep on, why are we not 50-50 off the bat? Let's at least start with that, right? As people, as men. Let's fight for 50-50 on all states.
Yes. Yes. And 50-50 has got to be the
The norm,
especially in
the
like
norm
high
stepping into the
The norm. It
conflict.
should be the
courtroom.
norm by
Yes.
default. It's common sense.
Yes.
And
I'm
as B
saying,
said, it should be proven from that point whether either parent, not just the focus on the male, is
Mhm.
either parent able to actually take care of that child and what is actually in the best interest of said child. I
Exactly.
personally have custody through the court systems of my oldest daughter. That was granted to me years ago, and now I'm back doing this same thing for not just my biological, but for my stepchild because I've been
Mm,
in his life for a decade. And
mm,
it's just if I could add to what you said as far as the automatic 50-50 and the doing away with the child support or its actual spousal support, and my idea,
mhm,
because a lot of the times the women misuse those funds and there's no real tracking system for them to be able to officiate how it actually happened. But also maybe there should be instead of legal officials dictating this, maybe mental health officials sitting there and seeing what is actually in the best interest of the children, or something more on those lines instead of the strict black and white
mhm,
that we have to go through. Um, I'm actually, still waiting on child support payments myself. Who enforces those for the women? It's supposed to
Mhm.
be the same system, of course. They're not doing their job.
I think that we
Um,
should
I,
have juries in that court too. You're talking about having a clinical therapist or somebody, they could be bought out by the system just as much. If we had a jury that was unbiased, then the judge's abuse of their power there's less power on the judge. The judge is the only person that's making a decision, and they have 20 to 30 minutes to look at the court cases, look at the evidence, and or the lack of evidence. There's
mhm,
no need for the burden of proof in family court. There
mhm,
usually is no hearing. There's
mhm,
no jury. This
mhm,
court is fundamentally different than most other courts. It's not like criminal court. It, so
Yeah,
those are good steps to and there's litigators. There's a Texas litigator named Robert Garza who is
yeah,
actually going to every
yeah.
state and changing these things. And so that way you can have not your money back, but your
Mhm,
time back.
mhm,
And so
mhm.
these things are happening. And I really appreciate I think we need to emphasize the coming together
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
on the mutual understanding of I love my sons, my daughter.
Mhm,
This is wrong. This is hurting the children.
mhm.
So it's not even about the mother or the father. This is hurting
Right.
the children
Mhm.
fundamentally. And so our kids are not for profit.
Exactly.
Being a
definitely.
father should not be illegal.
Exactly.
We need a fair and unbiased court system. And if we don't come together and rely on one another and be together on this and take action, they're going to
Mhm.
continue to profit off of our pain.
Yep.
Exactly. I agree. Michael, I have like a quick question for you, Michael. So for you, you mentioned that you have custody of your first child. Is that full custody? Is like 50/50 custody?
I have full custody because unfortunately her mother isn't in a place to share custody.
Oh, okay. So it was so in other words, like you have to go to court and kind of show how she's like I guess an unfit mother in order to get full custody, right?
Unfortunately.
Yeah. So yeah, and that's usually how it works, right? So for a man to kind of get full custody, they have to go to that deep where you have to
Yeah.
show it's really unfit, right?
And
And
it does more damage than what it's worth. Um,
Yes. It's
exactly.
almost
Because
like we're becoming the very thing that we're fighting. And I want
exactly.
to watch out and encourage us to not fight in a from a spiteful place.
Exactly. No, I agree. But I think overall, like the main thing we all should do is just really, like you said earlier, Stephen, like put the child first, right? The child best interest. And honestly, like I guess that's what's like a lot of men. I talk to like fathers every day. A lot of time, a
yeah.
lot of men don't even they just want 50/50. They're not asking to remove the mother from the child's home because let's honest, the honest truth is no parent should want full custody. It's like, bro, you want to have time for yourself. You want to have time to, get
Yeah.
yourself together. You want to get that kind of support system. You know what I'm saying? You want to be in the hey, go to your mom, right? Let me go get some more hours at work. You know what I'm trying to so nobody really should want full custody. Because to me, it's like, why would you want that for yourself, right? It's not good for the child as well. So a lot of time I think most fathers, bro, we don't mind sharing the child together, right? And we don't mind providing for the child because you have to understand like with most men, of course, there are some real deadbeats out there, of course. I mean, like there's good, there's bad in everybody, right? Both genders. But with most men, if you look at most men, by default, we most men provide for their girlfriend, not even their kids. We'll protect, provide just our girlfriend, not even our wife. So if I sat to say, if a man will provide and protect just a girlfriend that's not even his blood or wife, he's gonna provide and protect his child too,
Yeah.
right? So men want to be fathers, right? We're not saying we want the mother to not be involved. We want them to be involved. We just say, hey, just make it 50/50, make it fair.
Yep.
Don't
Make
drain
it
my
fair.
pocket doing it. Like
Yeah.
because a lot of men step to like a lot of time when men go to custody battles or divorce, most men end up very depressed. Most men, commit, suicide. Most men they have homicidal thoughts. Most men, like to me, a man that kind of come out and still stand strong, like I have a very, very high respect for that man because once, okay, as you all know, we all went through this stuff and we kind of going through it. It takes a lot mentally. It takes a lot emotionally, mentally, financially, and when
It
you're
does.
done, you have to rebuild yourself in a way. Who you were when you went in, you don't come out the same person. You know what I'm saying? You don't come out the same
Most
person.
definitely.
No.
And
My
it's a ongoing rebuilding process. It
Hmm.
is. And it's not done for me. And I am grateful for the path. Because now uh pain is a lesson in itself. And the information that has been brought to me during this time, I've learned to take it in differently. And I personally I don't know how much of an effective change that I could do in a legal system that was, built to persecute me anyway. But I
Hmm.
want my voice to be heard, specifically for my brothers who are going through the same battle, to let them know to keep their head up, that there is
Hmm.
light going through this dark process, and that you're not a weak man for relying on, for having to call the police in a situation if it's protecting you and your children. You're not any less of a father because your children don't live at home with you anymore and that's the only home they know. It's just a part of this process we call life that we have to see the silver lining and just reach for it, and we'll get there one day.
Hmm.
Um, if I could do anything, I hope that it would be something like that.
Yeah,
Yes, got to encourage one another because this is probably the most pain I've ever felt in my entire life by far.
Man, what you said, and I have been blown into a squad vehicle. I have been through some
yeah,
things
by
that,
far.
man,
Yeah, and I'm by
whew,
because like mo most men, like I said, man, we want to protect our seed, like especially the good fathers, the good dads, and to be honest, I feel like the thing is anyone that have a heart should like feel how unfair it is, right? Because picture, picture you a parent, you have your child you love, and someone come out of nowhere and just kidnap your kid, right? A
yeah,
kidnapper come in, get your kid, say, you know what? If you want your kid, we need ransom. Like, just like villains doing in movies. Pay us
Yes,
X amount of money, right? Like picture you as the dad or mom, yes, go to courts, hey, I need help. They don't want to help you. Hey, you go to the law enforcement, I need help. No one want to help you. Like they actually give the kidnapper your child legally. Like who would not go crazy and go berserk and be like,
yep,
whoa,
oh
I
yeah,
just got that or kidnap the kid like that. That's what it is. It's actually villain activities. Let's call it what it is.
yes,
It's kidnapping. I'm trying to be honest,
it is.
right? Yeah, man. And
it's
and then
it's
my
legal kidnapping.
yeah,
It's
that's what it is.
legal child abuse.
Exactly. That's what it is, bro. It's literally that. And then one thing Michael said that's very key, and I think we don't touch on a lot is that a lot of time men are afraid or ashamed to call the police when they're being abused. The fun fact is, the data might show that women get up. And by the way, this is not no women versus men.
Yeah.
I think both genders are great, but let's call what it is, right? Let's the data doesn't lie. So the data showed that women are, get abused the most, but the honest truth is, men get abused way more. We just don't report it. A lot of men are ashamed to report. A lot of men feel like they
Yeah,
won't believe me. A lot of men say, all right,
yeah,
her little punch doesn't hurt. It's just a little powder punch, but that's still abuse, right? So I recommend every man to report. There was a father
Yes.
in our group chat where he was getting abused like nonstop. I said, bro, like you have to record these abuse. And when it happened again, call the police. One
yep,
time she was abusing him. He called the police. She got arrested. Now he have full custody now. He's like, bro, thank you. I'm glad you. He said, look, I didn't want to make her lose the child, but it's not good to see the child. It's not good for the child to see the mother abusing you, like because the child would think that's okay to let someone hit them, and like it caused damage in that child's mind, both when either the father or the mother physically abuse each other. So I said to say, Michael, you're right, bro. We got to tell man, hey, call the police. Matter of fact. Here's why I was going to call the police. Let them deal with her. Like it actually saved you from snapping because as
yeah.
we all know, yeah, it's
They
not
push
good.
buttons.
Yeah, it protect you from like losing your cool. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying?
And
Let
if you
them
defend yourself, then you were the
exactly.
problem.
Exactly. Let them deal with it. Listen, I tell every guy, look, man, always record what you got. If you your co your mother, your child, very like hostile, like she's high conflict. When you do child exchange, get like a little body camera, put it on you, or you have your phone on record, or just always
Oh yeah,
record everything you do. Because when things happen, it'll be her words against yours. If you have no documents, no proof, you going to jail. If she have one little mark on her, even you say, hey, yo, stop hitting me. Just that little fingerprint, you're in jail. You done. You done. So
yep,
just record, fall back, call the police. And then one thing I tell every dad is that let the mother, let these the bigger ones, of course, let them self-destruct themselves. Like they will self-destruct. It'll take a little bit longer, but after a while, their lives, their abuse, it will be in the spotlight. Let
yeah.
them self-destruct, right? Just call them, call the police. Hey, bro, I'm being abused. Let them deal with her. That's my. So I said to say, bro, yeah, you on point with that. Like, yeah, tell dads, yeah, man, call the police, bro. Let them deal with it.
I
It's
had to
not. It's
start
not
doing that
something
with my
change.
wife.
Yeah, it's not what you said.
I had to start doing that with my wife.
You have to, bro. It's in a way it is protection for you, bro,
Hmm.
as a man, as a father, and for your child. Like you don't because you can't win fighting back.
No,
You know what I'm
at
saying?
all.
You can't win. You can't win verbally or physically. You cannot you can't out argue a woman. You just can't. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like you can't, bro.
Oh
You're
yeah.
not gonna
Oh
win the
yeah.
battle. Oh, yeah,
Guilty. You can't hold a woman accountable either.
you can't.
It makes
So
it worse. You really have to
We
do what you're
try.
saying. Let them disrupt.
They're incapable of holding themselves accountable.
Yeah.
they are, but they won't. You know what I'm trying to say? Because it's like, but also look, you know one thing I'm gonna say too though, like I also do give also kind of like in a way blame us men too for letting them get to that point.
Yes.
Because let's be
Yep.
honest, there are like a lot of simps out there. A lot of men where they'll do and say whatever because she have a vagina or because she look good. Think of them as like as kids. When you let kids get away with so many things, they're not gonna change. They're not gonna learn. Like we all fathers, right? Picture if we let our kids just do what they want to do, no accountability at all, no time out, nothing at all. When they get older, they're not gonna stop doing what they're doing because they're gonna keep doing it. This is why you have like laws in place, right? Pictures if someone is like you driving drunk all the time, they get pulled over.
Hmm.
Right, you know what? You're good. Just go. Just don't do it no more. They're not gonna stop driving drunk. They're gonna keep
Not till
doing
they
it.
hit somebody.
Exactly, right? So a lot of times I feel like with us, man, we have to say, you know what, bro? Look, yeah, I know you look good, but I'm not gonna tolerate any disrespect. Once a woman
Yep.
start throwing hands, cussing me out, I'm like, oh, trying to be toxic. I'm like, bro, you gotta go, bro. I'm good.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
now,
You.
like going through that now, I'm like, I would never let any broad like try me, respect me, talk me any kind of way. Like, now I'm good. Either I walk away or I have to kick
Yes.
you out. Good.
Yes.
Exactly.
But I mean, there's
Call
so
it
many
preserving
men.
my peace, like they say.
Yes. But there's so
Mhm.
many men we get entangled and we feel like it's our job to protect and provide for the family and to hold the
Mhm.
family together and we forget to protect ourselves.
Yeah.
Facts, man. Facts,
So,
man. Like, man, man.
one question and then I think we're about to run out of time.
Mhm.
In about like 30 seconds to a minute, talk to that father that's alone right now, that's
Mhm.
feeling those homicidal thoughts, that's
Mhm.
feeling all that. What would you say to them right now if you were with them? What would you do? How would you encourage other men to stand up similar to what we're doing and
Mhm.
to take action? What would you say to the crying voice and that's alone?
Mhm. Okay, so first thing first, to be honest, you are not going to win the first battle. Your job is not to win the battle. Your job is to win the war. This is a war. You want to win the war, the end result. That's what you're going for. Just stay at peace. Like get a support system, either get family, friends, or go to church, pray to God if you're into that, or join a support group. Like you need that kind of support system around you. Don't fall into the darkness. Like, and also too, you are not alone. You're not the first one to go through what you're going through. A lot of fathers before you and after you will go through what you're going through. So just hang in there, bro. Like the thing is, it's not the end result. Stay calm at all times. Do not react, right? Be proactive and not reactive, right? Let
There you
her
go.
self-destruct, not you. Buy a camera on Amazon, put that body camera on you, record every exchange, right? Go for 50-50 custody, nothing less, right? Go for 50-50. I don't care if the state is not 50-50. Fight for 50-50 custody, and nothing less than that, right? Get that court order in place. If she go against the court order, document everything, take her to court. You know what I mean? Like hold her accountable. You need that court order. You need that legal custody in place to actually fight. Without that, you have no rights. You have no weapons at all. That's your weapon. It might take you at least a good 2 to 3 years to finally see great success and victory, but it's worth it. The good thing is to my goal would be to, if you're just starting off, start very early. The earlier that you start early with the child before the child turns 3 years old. 'Cause when the child becomes three, that's when he or she start having more knowledge about okay, who's who, what's going on, who's daddy, who's mommy. Starting early. Do not let the mother slide with foolery, bro. Fight hard. Spend if you got the money, spend it. You'll make that money back. God will bless you with more money. You'll make that money back. When I was going through my stuff, when I spent all that money, I didn't think I was gonna have all these followers on with Menbuse. I never was I started doing podcasts and speaking to other followers. That was nowhere near my thoughts. But now
Hallelujah.
the blessing came much more than how much I spent for them. The time of my kid is so much more than the money that I was spending. So hang in there, fight hard, hold her accountable through like legally through the court system.
Definitely. Definitely.
Michael, Benjamin, thank y'all for your time. This is actually this is our first interview.
A word.
So
That's
we're
what's
just
up.
now starting. Me and Michael met, and I feel like the Lord's really kind of pushing us into this direction. We just want to make a net impact on fathers and mothers who have gone through what we've gone through. We're going to try to connect with as many people as possible and just be supportive. And if we get financially blessed, I really would love to help out fathers with their attorney fees. So
Oh,
I'm doing everything that I can possibly do to move this in a direction that brings freedom from this great evil.
mhm.
Um, and so I thank you for your time. Seriously,
Definitely.
thank you.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Like I said, thanks for having me on board. Like I said, like what you guys doing. Like I said, let me know if I could help out anyway. And like I said, and then when I kind of get back and run and start doing more episode podcast, wise, I'm gonna have you guys on board, man. I want you guys to come on my show and really, help you get y'all stuff out there too in the way I can to our followers.